Hey YouTube and viewers, it's really Kenny coming again with another video. I wanted to make a Black History Month video. As you know, Black History Month is February 1st to March 1st for those that recognize it, and for those that celebrate it in remembrance and things like that. As a Black YouTuber, I want to do my part and at least release a video addressing racism in this country, and all my people out there who may be struggling or maybe going through something, because race is definitely an issue in this country, and it's something that our political leaders don't really want to talk about it, and those that do want to talk about it are majority of the time ignored. And from my standpoint, as somebody who is starting to get a couple views and a couple subscribers on YouTube, I feel the need that if I have a voice, I should also be exercising it. And I feel if we can get people in the comments, leaving behind their feedback, that'd be good too. So on to the video. I just wanted to address racism in this country for what it is. And people don't want to address it as this, but I'm going to probably be the first to do it. But I believe racism in and of itself should be classified as a clinical mental illness. Now, I don't know how many people have ever said that, but I believe racism should be considered a mental illness, because the way I see it is something has to be wrong with a person mentally that they cannot handle anything different. Okay? And dogs, cats, lions, tigers, even animals can be trained to tolerate one another. We see that all the time in zoos. We see it with pets. I've owned cats. I've owned a cat and a dog. When they're out in the wild, they fight. When they've been tamed and they're in civilization, they can be trained to be a part of one another, to cooperate with one another. But the things that we're seeing nowadays in society, I remember I saw this video just recently of a man in Arkansas holding up a Black Lives Matter sign. They were calling him nigga. They were telling him, why the fuck would a coon's life matter? They were saying a whole bunch of things, and some of it was young folks too. And I was thinking to myself, racism is a mental illness, and it's contagious. It's contagious because this type of mindset is passed down from generation to generation. The only way to cut it off is for it to die with the people it's stuck with, because as far as I see it, there's no cure for racism. There's no cure for someone who chooses to discriminate. There's no cure for our politicians who choose to ignore issues in society because they have the privilege to ignore it. Oftentimes, people want to throw false equivalencies, towards racism in our society. And a false equivalency is saying something that's equally messed up, but it doesn't, I'm sorry, YouTube, but it doesn't fit what is currently going on. For example, if I am having a conversation about slavery or, police shootings, you'll hear somebody say, well, the Holocaust happened. Well, that's a false equivalency, y'all. Yes, the Holocaust was bad, but it doesn't equate to what I'm talking about. If I say black people are being shot unnecessarily, that does not tell me that white people get shot too. We know that white people get shot by the police, but they're not being shot because because of the color of their skin. You see what I'm saying, y'all? And I don't mean to sit here and preach, but on Black History Month, I have to do my part and say something because I have a voice to reach others. And so that's my responsibility as a black man too. I cannot sit here and ignore it. Especially coming up next month will be the trial of the man that sat on George Floyd's neck and let him die after 8 minutes. His trial's coming up next month, after Black History Month. Okay? And so I want to do my part and speak as well. Okay? My girlfriend was at the, I'll tell y'all a story. If y'all can in the comments too, leave a little story, that'd be fine too. My girlfriend's from India. She was on the phone with me talking, she didn't understand Black Lives Matter. I was explaining it to her. And there was an ex-cop in the store who ran the store that she was in. I don't know what store she was in. And he heard her say Black Lives Matter. And he said, Blue Lives Matter to her. She didn't know what he was talking about. And he said, black lives are the only lives that matter. Blue lives matter too. Police put themselves on the line every day. Y'all, I've served in the military for 3 years. I'm a military retiree. Okay? At no point have you ever heard anybody in the military say, military lives matter. We know that it matters. That's what we signed up for. That's what officers signed up for. A black man under arrest did not sign up for being killed. A girl minding her own business in an apartment did not sign up for being shot. A young boy that walks the street does not sign up to be harassed. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. We say Black Lives Matter because we wear our skin instead of a uniform, and yet we are fighting a battle that we didn't ask for. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. It is not to denote the fact that a white man's life matters. It's not to denote the fact that a Mexican life matters. It's not to denote the fact that anybody's life matters. You could say all lives matter as much as you want. But when you say that, you're saying a false equivalency to, because you know what people are talking about. You know, and this is for politicians that may watch my video. This is for white people that may watch my video that don't understand about what Black Lives Matter means. Okay, and I'll just say it right now. When you say all lives matter, stop, Ezra. When you say blue lives matter, you are being the opposition to black people for no reason, because you know what we're referring to. You are opposing us. You are fighting back us who is just fighting to stay alive. Okay? When you hold up the sign, Blue Lives Matter, you're holding that up opposing us. Why don't you hold that up against some criminals? Blue Lives Matter. Why don't you stand outside the prisons and say, Blue Lives Matter? They won't do that. Why don't you hold it up outside of, why don't you go outside of a drug dealer on the street and say, Blue Lives Matter? They won't do that. No, you'll go against black people protesting against being killed and then say, Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter. Why are you protesting us? We're the affected party here. You can't regularly see, here's the problem. White people, not all, I will not say all. I have white friends. My son is light-skinned. His great-grandparents are white. Okay? But when white people say all lives matter, they are trying to be argumentative for the sake of being argumentative to oppose people for absolutely no good reason because they have nothing else better to do. They want to put themselves in the places of victims as if they're being terrorized the way we are being terrorized. My son, at just the age of 9 months old, he was called a nigger for the first time because he was with me at the movie theater. We went to the movie theater in the country-ass Zephyr Hills, Florida. Excuse me if you're from there. To go see a Star Wars showing. White man pulled up beside us, called us niggas and pulled off. Why? What am if I was to say, please stop the racism, would you say racist lives matter too? Come on, you know, it's crazy. I was watching this Democratic representative Cedric Richmond, and he was talking about you know how he wanted reform and everything to happen, and you know he was talking about Black Lives Matter and everything. And this white dude, Matt Gaetz, came out of nowhere and lied about having a black family and said, oh, my family matters. Or what if I had black kids and all this other stuff? And the dude just looked at him like he was crazy. And at that moment, I'm saying to myself, even the politicians want to be argumentative for argumentative sake, just to argue. We can't get help that way, man. We need black people voting in politicians who will help us. We need every black person to vote. We need white people who say they support us to open their mouths to show the other ones where they're going wrong. Because there are good white people out there. And yes, y'all are speaking up. But we need y'all to start pointing it out the way this excellent man did, this excellent white man did. He put him on YouTube. He had a Black Lives Matter sign and they were trashing him. But that's what I talk about, really going to town to really support us. And I need all of y'all out there really to use your voices, even YouTubers, just like I am. Use your voices, man. These folks need it. We need it. There's so much racism. There's so much mental illness. There's so much discrimination. So much of it. Politicians, y'all ain't seen it. We got to put it online for y'all to see it. And y'all want to ignore it. We need somebody who's going to shove it down your motherfucking throats. Excuse my language. For y'all to really get the message. Just like that white boy did when I saw his YouTube video. Just like we do every time we get murdered and we put it on film. We put it on film for y'all to see. And y'all argue in the Senate, in Congress, about it. And then do nothing. It's ridiculous. Stop it. Stop arguing. Do not walk out of that building unless you do something. Or be prepared to lose your fucking jobs on the next election. Don't walk out of that damn building unless you're ready to help people who are dying. I had a gun pulled on me when I was a kid at an elementary school, man. By a cop. I was spit on when I was young. They don't see that if we don't do something about this racism in America, it's just going to keep going. It's still happening. Why does a 9-month-old baby have to be called a nigga arbitrarily? Because they feel comfortable with it, because nobody's going to do nothing with it, because nobody's saying nothing about it. By saying nothing, you are encouraging the behavior. White folks, say something. Point your fingers. Say, hey, man, if y'all really say y'all not racist, if you have a voice, use it. Use it. Because black folks will speak out when something's wrong. It don't matter if you white, black, or whatever. If something's wrong, bruh, something's wrong. I remember I went to the store. Not the store, I'm sorry, the DMV. And there was this old white lady being shouted at by this black woman. And I had to say something. I was in my uniform at the time and I said something. It didn't matter if it was black or white. Wrong is wrong. I said something. I said, hey, man, stop shouting at that old woman like that. She's a part. She said, I'm sorry for cutting you. She said, I'm sorry, let it go. You don't have to threaten her. In fact, I told her, take my place in line so you can hurry up and leave. Because wrong is wrong and right is right. Y'all know goddamn well police should not be killing black folks. You know goddamn well black folks say Black Lives Matter because we are dying. Why in the fuck would you say, well, all lives matter? Well, the police lives matter too. In this situation, at what point are we saying that their lives don't matter? But at what point are we saying their lives matter when they're killing us? Hey, hold on. He may be killing him, but all lives matter. Bro, we're talking about y'all ignoring the fact that we're dying. Stop doing it. Please. Y'all, I don't want this video to be too long. But I get passionate about this stuff because it affects me as a black man. All right? I'm not saying white people are evil. I'm not saying nothing extreme like that. If that's your point of view, you know, maybe you have something in history that caused you to believe that. But also, white people, when you need to understand, too, that there are people who harbor a certain amount of anger towards these issues because nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. And at no point am I saying all white people are racist. At no point am I saying all white people are bad. Because it's not true. I was shot, okay, and a white man saved my life. I was bleeding out. I had been shot. I had to kill up my own people, kill a black man just to save my life. But you know what? A white man came and saved me. A police officer saved my life. But it does not excuse multiple other white officers in different departments killing innocent black folks. And we will not let it go. So with that being said, y'all, everybody needs to speak up because racism, discrimination is a mental illness. To look at another person and say, oh, he's different. He's different. So guess what? You're a nigger. That's a mental illness and there's no cure for it. Y'all, let's do our part and end this mental illness. Let's end this struggle that we're all going through. Let's acknowledge it for what it is so we can get through it. Politicians, speak the fuck up and do something about it, bro. Anyways, y'all, this has been my video for the month. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like to, but please give me a comment. Please tell me a story. I want to hear it. Ezra, say bye-bye. Bye. I want to hear it, y'all, and I want y'all to tell me what's up. I want you to tell me what y'all going through, because I'm here to listen, y'all. Peace.